country like no other. Now, I'm not the first one to say that, and perhaps it sounds like a meaningless cliche, but I really mean it. We have spectacular bushland, vast deserts, amazing beaches, and many unique ecosystems full of plants and animals and other organisms that have evolved to thrive in the most extreme environments that are present in their specific tiny niche, and they can't live anywhere else on the planet. Australians want to protect these special environments, and we're prepared to take extra steps to do so. 82% of Australians are concerned about climate change, and 71% want Australia to be a global leader in finding solutions to climate change. Renewable energy sources make up over 20% of Australia's electricity now, and the proportion continues to grow, mainly from new wind and solar generation. We are recycling more and landfilling less each year, and there's growing public interest in waste minimisation and concerns about the environmental footprint of single-use plastic. But a few years ago, I got a rude shock when I saw news reports like this one saying that China and other Asian countries that we had been sending our recycling to, they're sending it back. In 2016, China was importing half of the world's recovered paper and used plastics, but customs inspections showed much higher levels of contamination than the allowable threshold, causing them to refuse to accept contaminated waste any longer. So this caused the sale price for recyclable materials to drop drastically, making it uneconomic to send recyclable materials for offshore processing in many waste categories. Like most other Australians, I had been carefully sorting my recycling, thinking I was doing the right thing for the environment. But it turned out that what we were really doing was shipping our recyclable materials to be landfilled in other countries. We can't do that anymore, which creates a challenge for us and other similar countries. What on earth to do with all this waste? It may be technically recyclable, but in reality, as of 2018, less than 10% of Australia's plastic waste was actually recycled. A huge problem, right? And the problem is not just the wasted resources and the land taken up by landfill. There's also the issue of microplastics and other harm to animals, especially marine animals, that arise from plastic waste getting into our rivers and oceans. Australia is not alone in facing this problem. Many other countries are committed to moving towards a circular economy, for example in Europe. They're moving away from a linear economy where virgin resources are made into products which are then thrown away as garbage, towards a more circular economy where at the end of their first life, products are remade into new products. Materials that are easy to recycle and retain high value in their recycled form, like steel and copper for example, are already recycled at high rates because it's cheaper to do it that way. However, for materials like plastic and glass, it's currently more expensive to recycle than simply to use virgin materials each time. Recently, many consumers and governments have proven willing to pay these cost premiums for recycled materials. When I go to the supermarket now, I don't just see 100% recyclable packaging, I am seeing more and more 100% recycled packaging. I see this also on clothing and other plastic products like fencing and furniture. So the value is there in these recycled products, which currently attract a cost premium over unrecycled options. What we need now is improved recycling technologies to increase the range of products that can be made from recycled materials and to decrease the price, ideally to the point where it doesn't cost more to use recycled materials compared to virgin materials. Currently, there are several challenges getting in the way of manufacturers using more recycled materials in their products. These are the quality of materials sent to be recycled, customer acceptance and demand for recycled products, and the cost premium to use recycled materials versus virgin materials. And Australia has an opportunity to develop these technologies needed to overcome the challenges and then benefit from the high value export opportunities that these will open up. Last year, the Australian government introduced a waste export ban, under which the export of unprocessed plastic, paper, glass and tyre waste will be banned. This action will help to set up the market conditions needed to encourage innovative solutions to the technology challenges that we need to solve. By making it more expensive to get rid of recyclable materials, it will make the economics of recycling more attractive. And, as well as the materials identified in the waste export ban, there are opportunities to capture value from electronic waste and other high-tech products. The CSIRO has estimated that there is a potential $3 billion in value available from lithium-ion battery recycling, for example. And And even in pre-production processes such as mining, there are significant opportunities to capture value and improve environmental outcomes by reducing waste and capturing valuable materials that have previously been disposed of. So an example is trace minerals in mining tailings. I spoke at the start about how lucky I feel to live in a country with so much natural beauty. Compared to other countries I've lived in, it's really easy to get out into nature and away from any other people. I've had surfs where I shared the waves only with dolphins, and ski tours with bluebird skies where I didn't see another human all day. This is because of other natural benefits we have in Australia: low population density and fantastic weather. The same factors that make for a very nice day at the beach also give us the conditions we need to supply renewable energy to countries that have higher population density and less sunshine. Australians are already taking advantage of these benefits. Over 15% of Australian households have solar panels on their roofs. That's the highest uptake of rooftop solar in the world. We also have great wind resources and are especially lucky that our country is so big, so we can space our wind farms out and reduce the inherent variability in that way. It's not often that there's no wind across the whole east side of the country, and for those times when there is little wind and solar available, we are bringing on world-leading storage projects to help. The Hornsdale battery in South Australia was the biggest at the time that it began operation, and since then there have been even larger batteries proposed. We also have the Snowy Hydro 2.0 and other pumped hydro projects underway, which will allow a large amount of variable renewables to be added to our grid without sacrificing reliability. Australia has long been a major energy exporter, and our amazing renewable energy potential presents a clear opportunity to benefit from the world's clean energy transition. However, transporting electricity is not nearly as simple as transporting coal or gas. You can't put green electrons on a ship, so new technologies need to be developed. We are now starting to see ambitious plans to export green electricity through world-first technology trials, such as transporting green hydrogen via ship and green electricity via subsea cable to supply places like Japan and Singapore, whose clean energy needs will be far greater than they can produce on their own. We're not manufacturing a lot of solar panels or wind turbines in Australia. These industries are very competitive with low margins, and they're better suited to countries with lower cost of labour and larger domestic markets. The opportunities for Australia with regards to clean energy will come from advanced manufacturing, supplying high-tech, high-value components and operations and services such as wind farm and solar farm siting and servicing. We have the incentive and the knowledge necessary to make advances in remote management of wind turbines and solar panels that the rest of the world's renewable energy asset managers would love to have. Having a large amount of low-cost renewables in our electricity mix also presents high-value opportunities for every other manufacturer in or outside the national priorities. I mentioned in the video on minerals that Australia possesses many of the critical raw materials needed in the clean energy industry. I talked in that video a lot about opportunities associated with lithium-ion battery production, and there are others. Examples include copper, nickel, and rare earth metals. And there are also risks if we don't move in this direction. Both the USA and Europe are likely to introduce border charges for high emissions products. So any product whose manufacturer uses a lot of electricity and is exported to a country with border charges for high emissions products, they can also benefit from Australia having a low cost and green electricity grid. So what does that mean for Australian manufacturers? Well, it starts with awareness. Awareness of future trends of where the world is moving, awareness of your supply chain, and awareness of opportunities for recycling within your manufacturing process. The national manufacturing priorities cover a wide range of opportunities and specialty areas, so if you're looking forward to exploring this topic further with me, check out the full series of Manufacturing with Rosie on the Manufacturing Academy platform.